Hi guys.
Hi everybody.
So we're back here at the NEC again. It's February 2025 and you know what that means?
It's the Caravan Camping and Motorhome Show.
Let's go and have a look around. Well, we've managed to get into the show a little bit early, just before the public are in, and that means we can go and have a look at the California Ocean. So this is the new Volkswagen California Ocean. We're going to head straight over to Campervantastic, see whether Steve's there, and have a really good look at it before the crowds descend a little bit later on. We're also going to try and get to the Adria stand before the crowds come along, because we want to have a look at that Super Twin as well. So let's see if we can find Steve. Here we are. Here he is. You know what that means? We've got, oh, he's done a great job on the stand this time, look. So we've got new California Ocean versus T6.1 California Ocean. Right, let's see whether we can find him, shall we? Morning, Steve. Well, I know it's early morning. It's like Wednesday. You've already had a day of people in and out of these vans, haven't you?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
There's no one in the country, I don't think, who knows Californias like you do. You've had right from the T4 all the way through now, haven't you? And
That's
this latest generation. Mm-hmm. So what's your reaction to it then? Because this is the first time you've had your hands on one, isn't it, at the show?
Yeah, we're having double the fun here with it. We've got T6.1 and the brand new California. The reaction's been mixed, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't like change. So I'd have to say, changes in this are quite exceptional. There's a lot that's changed in the vehicle.
Yeah.
A lot of aerodynamics that's going on. You'll see a longer nose on this.
Yeah.
When you have a look around at the T6.1, you'll certainly see where the door configuration is. You can see what they've done. This has gone through the wind tunnel. You've got a spoiler on the back. There's quirky things about it. You can't have a tailgate bike rack like this any longer. You're now looking at having a tow bar rack. The good thing about this is it's got the drop-down tow bar on it rather than the removable one. So that's an innovation that's a lot easier to use.
Yeah.
Seat configurations, people did love the bench seat in this.
Yeah.
They like the storage underneath.
Yeah.
There's a frustration that there's less storage in here. There's cunning options. Obviously, there's the brand up seat pockets and things. We've managed to get some of those from Germany for this show.
Okay.
To demonstrate that there are other options being designed.
Aftermarket stuff already coming out for
already being designed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there's sort of cunning little cubby holes, little drawers and things in there. There are places to put your gear. They've developed the window pockets, which we've had for a while now from some of our German suppliers for this. So that's gone in there to give you a little bit of extra space. In terms of drivability, that's probably where the biggest change in the vehicle is, because it's basically on like the car platform. Yeah. So it's much more.
It looks more car-like in the front of the thing, doesn't it?
It's quite an exceptional change. The seats have been designed a lot more comfortably because they're now the height adjustable. We used to get a lot of people saying they wanted height adjustable seats in this one, so that's good. Still swiveling. Now, a couple of things we've lost that we did enjoy was obviously that larger table, that lovely table in 6.1 that slid out and came out. Yeah. We've now got this little table, which is a universal table. So that will now, and I'm sure you'll demonstrate or show that later on, but that obviously can move in 3 places inside the van. So you can make it a little office, but you can use the, this is actually the new table.
The outdoor table,
and that can actually go inside as well. So you can still get a big table inside.
Because the beach used to be like that, didn't it? You used to be able to use a table inside the beach.
It's got the same clips. The other thing that's new is the seats. The seats are more comfortable. Now, they don't look it because they look narrower. And we've sat inside them, and the only main thing is you haven't got that broadness in the armrests. Yeah. But the back design is a lot better because obviously it doesn't get you in the back of the shoulders for us.
It does look good.
That are nearer 6 foot. Yeah. So that's a lot more comfortable. But they are heavier, interestingly, and the table feels a touch heavier as well.
Okay, that's good.
And they lock as well, because you remember with the old ones, you didn't get them quite, you get the legs right, they'd be like almost collapsing on you. But these ones lock in place.
Oh, that's brilliant. And obviously it's twin sliding doors on this now as well, which is a big difference, isn't it? Because a lot of people chose not to buy a California before because they felt the door was on the wrong side. So
we never really suffered it too much because we could always get out through the passenger door. Yeah. But the main thing, I think, this expands the options.
Sorry about the noise.
The opportunity to sell this to a broader market, so the likes of Australia, where they couldn't import this because it didn't have an alighting passenger side door. Perhaps might mean that it might end up in the Australian market. Who knows, it might actually get to California one day.
Into the American market. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, the other thing about this is it's going to come as a petrol plug-in hybrid.
Okay.
With a 1.5 petrol engine. Hasn't been released yet. We're just imminently waiting for information about that. And that will be a new departure from obviously
it's an obvious next step for them to do, isn't it, really? It certainly feels like it. And the most important question, Steve, is are you going to have these on your fleet so people can hire them?
Yeah, we've got them on order. We've got a lovely orange and silver already on its way. We've got blue and white as well. We're probably going to just dip our toe in the water for this year. We're still going to run the 6.1 because it's tried, tested, loved and enjoyed. But we will be having these in. Hopefully our fleet will probably arrive early May, but we're just waiting to find out. The build, you know what build weeks are like and things like that. Things change, and we like to have a lot of options on our vans. We like to have everything. The kitchen, not only the kitchen sink, the tow bar, the advanced park assist,
everything,
the lane control, the blind
If you're going to have one, you might as well have it all. And
we're going to have it's got cameras down the side now as well as the front and back.
Nice.
So it's going to be quite exceptional to have all the gear and the spec. So we go top end when we buy our vans in, so that you can experience absolutely everything.
As good as it gets.
And if you want to go and buy one, then you can just down the spec if you want to save a few pennies. Or probably a bit more than pennies.
sounds brilliant. And that is the scoop, really, that you're going to be hiring out these vans. As soon as you get them in, you'll turn them around straight back out for hire, won't you? So look out for that. Spring, summertime, check out Campervantastic. I'm sure you'll put updates on your social medias and all of the website and everything anyway. Because if you want to try one of the new Californias, then there's no better place to do it than with you, Steve, is there?
No.
Well, thank you for having a bit of a talk around these. We're going to do a bit of videoing of the different changes and bits and pieces on the new California. We're really excited to see it. Having had a couple of Californias ourselves, any change to the California is really close to our heart as well. So thanks very much, Steve.
And I'll give you some tips of other things and you can put into your videos.
We will.
Show some other bits I've discovered.
Amazing. Thanks, Steve. Cheers. Right, so we're going to take full advantage of the fact that there's nobody around at the moment, and we're going to do a few measurements of these. So there's lots of talk about the height of this tailgate on the 6.1 versus the new one. So let's give it a go and let's see what we've got. So first test, I'm 6'1", so I can't stand underneath this without crouching down with those there. And if I go to the side, so I don't quite, where is it? Here. That doesn't touch the top of my head there, but at the back here, I can't touch that there. Let's go and have a look at this one over here. So this is the new T7.
No, it's not a T7, is it?
So
multivan.
If I try and stand under here, there is definitely, I can actually stand underneath it. Only just, but there's definitely a bit more height there. And this corner here, that's actually higher. That is actually higher than the 6.1. So if anyone's worried about it being a lower van or anything like that, or sitting lower on the ground, obviously that's just the tailgate, that's nothing to do with the inside. Should we have a bit of a measure of this bed and see what we think? So if I measure from, I'm going to measure from the side cupboard there to there, that's 118 I make it in there. So let's go and have a measure of exactly the same over in the 6.1. So in the 6.1 then, same measurement. So we get that on the side there. Actually, push it forward a bit because we need it on the full width, don't we? That's 116. And what was that one?
118, wasn't
118.
Okay, so very slightly wider.
Yeah, so it's slightly wide. Let's just double check that. No, 108.
Oh, well.
I thought it might have been different. So that's what, 10 centimetres?
Yes.
It could be quite a bit. That could be quite a bit. Right, so let's have a bit of a tour around this fantastic new camper then. So I think first of all, first thing that Steve said when he put the roof up on this one compared to the 6.1 is that it's near silent. So anyone who's looked at a California with the electric roof before, because the roof on these is electric, you might have heard that pump noise when you press and hold the button as it goes up. Apparently, dead silent on these, so that's a bonus. So let's have a look inside then. Now, as you've probably seen on other videos and things, you've got two separate back seats. I'll talk about the camping side of this van mostly, but two separate back seats. You've got little storage drawers underneath, which clearly compared to the bench drawer in the normal, normal California, old California, the 6.1, etc. That's obviously a little bit smaller, but you can move these seats individually, which obviously means if you're trying to get comfortable on a long journey, I tell you, these seats are far, far more comfortable for a journey, far more comfortable, because they're actual seats rather than a bench. So that's nice. And obviously being able to move them independently, you can have different amounts of floor space and everything else. In terms of this kitchen block, obviously changed quite considerably from the original California. You've got sliding compartment here where you've got cutlery drawer, tiny bit of space here. You've got sockets underneath here, so a couple of 240 volt sockets and a USB. Obviously your gas isolator there. Obviously got a little couple of shelves and stuff here, which actually, when you're sitting on the bench seat in an evening, if you want to put your drink somewhere, that's quite nice, because you always used to have to put it on top of the kitchen, and then if you were using the kitchen, that was quite problematic. In the back here, got a cupboard. So again, got a shelf in that cupboard. Don't think we had the luxury of a shelf, did we, in the old one? You had to buy those when you were in the those. Just open the back one as well, so you can see back there there's another storage cupboard as well. Sliding doors, obviously. Airline locker still there, and still a really big space actually, making good use of the space back there. And then in this window you get this kind of storage compartment, which is kind of recessed into the window, so you can see it's divided into different sections and things. But if you were going to put clothes or other things in there, it gives you a bit more storage. That, although you could buy those as an aftermarket on the old California, it's nice to see it part of the van. Back here, control panel. You've got obviously a thing which tells you about your water, your wastewater, your battery, all of that kind of stuff. Air conditioning turning on and off. And then obviously you've got all of your levels and other things. And then I think if you press it again, this is where you can control all of your lights and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously camping mode, fridge settings, all of that kind of thing. Speaking of the fridge, if Sarah just comes round to my right, I'll be able to show you this. So this is all fully moulded in, pulls out. This is the seal for the fridge here. So it is, all of this is the cold box. Two sections in here, so you've got a small section and a large section, quite nice and tall in terms of being able to open and close. It's got a light in it as well, and it just looks really well integrated actually. It does look very smart. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you might be thinking, what's happened to the table? Well, let me show you. So what they've decided to do on this California is they've decided to have a universal table which you can put in different places in the van, and it stores here, and if you want it out you can pull it up. It's got a leg underneath that just drops down, and then you can lengthen it and pop it there if you want to use it outside, because obviously with twin sliding doors you might want to park up and use this with a couple of outdoor chairs which store in the tailgate. That's one way of using it. This is all secure and with a magnet at the bottom. You can then take it out of there, and that just folds away, and you can, I'll just pop in here, you can then slide it on here. It's very new, so it's quite tight at the minute. Pop your handle down, extend it, so you can use it as a kitchen extension inside. And then after this, you can take it out, slide it out of here, bit of silicone spray and it'll be absolutely fine. And you can slot it on this side. Again, pull that down, open that out, just move those cards. And then you've got a little table for inside. So actually, as a solution which is just different. I don't know whether this is better or worse than the 6.1 California. It's just different because obviously the fixed sliding table in the 6.1, when you slid it out, if you had anything on the floor, you had to get it out the way to be able to open it up, and then the leg in the middle of the van and all that stuff. Whereas this, just being able to move it around and decide whether you want an extended kitchen, living space or outdoors and things, I think that's pretty cool, really. So the blinds, you might remember, used to be in the headlining up here, used to pull them down and everything. This is lovely fabric, by the way. Very nice soft touch and fabric-y feel. They're actually now built in. And they're built into the doors, so they just come down like that. And I tell you what, compared to the Marco Polo, which had a similar style, you used to be able to have like a bit of a gap around the outside of the Marco Polo. They were a bit rubbish. That actually seems to have a really good blackout effect. So they've obviously fitted it a bit closer, a bit better around the sides and everything, a bit tighter fit. I think that works really nicely. It's dead easy. And hopefully won't have some of the issues that the pull-down ones had, because those built-in ones occasionally they did have a few problems. So the other thing on here, obviously you've got factory-fitted sliding windows at the back and things for ventilation, so that's good too. So you might have noticed that this looks possibly a little bit lower, and we did measure this. So from the floor, so this floor here, to the top of this, so where you'd come in through the side of the van, we measured that compared to the T6.1. This is 117 centimetres opening. On the T6.1 it was 121, I think it was, 122. So very slightly narrower here in terms of getting in and out. But that's because obviously this has got a slightly higher floor in because of that hybrid version which is coming in due course. Obviously they've got to put the batteries under the floor as well. One thing I did notice, if you just pan down, the heater outlet, so this has got diesel heating, the heater outlet is in the centre of the van now, and it's got a nice distribution around the whole of the van. In the previous 6.1, it used to be on the driver's side door pillar at the bottom, and it's really noisy, and it always felt as though it was concentrated from that area, so hopefully this should give a much nicer spread throughout the van. I don't believe it. They've actually put some soft materials in the cab again.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, clearly it's not as nice as the T6 was, but actually somewhere for your arm when you've got the window down and it's 30 degrees, beautiful.
One of those rare summer's days in the UK.
Right, so we're going to have a go at putting this bed up in here so we can see actually whether it is wide enough for both Sarah and I to lie on. So off we go, Steve.
Right. This one, and then the second one, that gets that flat. You can actually slide this underneath a little bit
back a little bit more,
but this particular seat has to be in here to make the bed. You can remove this one if you don't need to use it. It comes out, but you can still make a bed over this single seat. And
because it rests on the side here. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll just lean over and get the mattress.
Yeah, because that's a hard board on that, so. And there we go.
One of the key things with the bed is there's not a lot of floor space here now once we've got that across.
Yeah, that's a bit tighter, isn't it? Although this seat, because you can pop that away, there is still space there because it's resting on here. Well, I'll tell you what, I think this is all right.
It's about the same width, isn't it?
It really doesn't feel that different.
But this is plastic, so that wouldn't be cold to touch
at
night.
This is aluminium and would
be a bit cold then,
cold
wouldn't
at
it?
night. But I can go for snacks in the cupboard.
Okay.
It's all right. I mean, it's clearly a narrow bed, but it is in the 6.1 as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a wide bed. It's not like sleeping in a king size bed. But actually, I could quite happily sleep here like this. I don't know whether you look like you've just been...
I've been shoved into a corner. He's absolutely fine, yeah.
But I'm a side sleeper anyway, so I would sleep like this. You tend to be a side sleeper, don't you? So I really don't think it's an issue.
I think it's about right.
This feels the same as it did in the 6.1. So if you wake up in a bit of a start in the morning, you're still going to whack your head on that. So that's the same.
Don't wake up in a start then.
But no, it's... I think that's I think that's fine. Don't really notice any difference there, to be honest.
Definitely sleep 2 in it. But the challenge is that bit at the bottom there.
It's just a bit narrower.
So I think if it was us, we'd need to take that seat out because then there'd be some space for the dog.
Or push it back so she could at least turn round in the night. She'd be okay down there.
Yeah.
Although she'd be sleeping on top of the heater.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, she's not keen on heat.
No heater overnight.
No.
Yeah. Need to think about that. We might have just spotted one difference. And that is sitting on the bed, made up, head touching roof.
Even me.
And that's saying something.
The shorty.
Yeah, it's definitely slightly more claustrophobic. Well, claustrophobic / cozy. Cozy. With the right kind of blankets and stuff in here, this would feel cozy.
So if you fancy trying to win a week's hire in one of these, Steve is running a competition open till the 2nd of March. If you can get the QR code off whatever screen you're looking in on this, then please do, but we will pop the link in the description below. Enter it, you'll get a free week hire, a full tank of diesel, and a hamper. I don't know what's in the hamper, but I'm sure it'll be full of nice bits and bobs.
So what did you think to that then?
Wow.
It's quite the change, but I think, as I was sitting there, I was thinking, actually, it's growing on me.
It's quite a pleasant place to be, isn't it?
It's quite a pleasant place to be, and with the right kind of little tweaks that you do yourself anyway, like everyone did on the 6.1, I think that could end up being a really nice van, you know. I was trying to think, what's it going to be like for a weekend? What would it be like for a week if the weather was really bad? You know, what's it going to be like to be inside and stuff? And I think it would be cozy, actually. I do, and I think there's a difference between claustrophobic and cozy, and I think they've used some nice materials in there. There's quite a lot of fabric. It just feels all right, actually. I think that might be a winner in the long run, but we've got to test one, haven't we? That's the key.
I'm still a bit concerned about storage.
Yeah, you
and
need
I'm
to
a
live
bit
in
concerned about one burner ring.
Yeah, we'd need to.
If you're in bad weather, so you can't go cooking outside, or you don't want to go cooking outside.
We'd need to give one a try to really know, but really good to see it.
Yeah.
Right, on with the show then.
So Will, with his little beady spy eye, has managed to spot this. And this is a Hillside Hopton with the rear lounge layout. And we think next might just mean the next newer Crafter stroke MAN. Let's have a look. Are we ready? Yes, it is. Look at that. It's a beauty.
So this has got the new sat-nav system with the really quite wretched touchscreen controls, the sliding volume, the sliding temperature things and everything else. If anyone's seen what a Volkswagen ID3 or a Cupra Born or anything like that's like, that's the same as that. It's got electric handbrake, which means that you don't have one down there as we always did before. It's got cup holder where you would normally have your gear lever, because gear lever is up here on a stalk. That means your other stalk there does everything. Actual buttons on the steering wheel still, rather than those haptic things that they seem to be fitting on everything. And this one's got a start-stop button. So there you go. Obviously digital dashboard in this. It's got a piece of plastic over it, that's why it looks slightly funny. Yeah, digital dashboard, auto hold as well, so that would make driving in traffic just slightly easier. Really nice to see one of the facelift ones. It's got nice little bits of trim here, look, as well. That's very nice. Door cards and everything look identical. Yeah, little the switch for all the lights and stuff is touch panel now. All of the mirror controls and all that kind of stuff look absolutely identical to the previous generation. But really good to see one of the latest vans here. And great that it's on a Hopton as well. So British built. If you haven't seen the Hillside Hopton before, we'll give you a quick tour of this one, seeing as we're here at it. But definitely worth checking them out. They're a great approved converter based in Derby.
So this is the Hillside Hopton with the rear lounge that we just had a quick look in the front of. So rear lounge with the two benches facing each other, that's where you get your bed. There's no pop top on this particular one, and you've got this Nice big bathroom here with the sliding door, which comes along here.
It's probably clipped, is it?
Yeah, I think they've clipped it in place. So toilet's over this side, shower here, and the sink just above the toilet there. Lovely big shower room. Beautiful, beautiful kitchen here with a lovely moulded top here. I'm not sure what that's made of, but it's lovely and cool to the touch. And that, crikey, it's the same weight as a spare wheel. Oh, there we go. Wow.
Huge sink.
Look at that sink. Shiny, shiny.
Huge.
Beautiful, lovely tap as well that goes over the top. So we're still on gas in this particular one, but they also have induction too. So some would say best of both worlds. The little grill down here and your kitchen cupboards, as you'd expect down there. And it looks like you get quite a nice little bit of storage down the side here too. And your fridge, the usual, up there with the freezer box. So lovely, comfy sort of sofa rear lounge layout here. They're quite high set up. So you can see there, I can't quite get my feet on the ground as I'm sitting in it. So that means I would have to take up an entire one of these. So I just permanently sit with my feet up, which I haven't really got a problem with at all.
I'll tell you what though, this looks slightly more sumptuous than the Tracker XL.
It does. The leather on this quilting here.
I don't know how much this leather costs, but it's worth it.
It's lovely.
It's beautiful.
Really, really nice.
It's very, very nice indeed. Great storage above as well. So this van, £89,000. This leather, £3,500.
So we are off to see the new Citroen Holidays Campervan, which we are recommended to come and see by someone that we've spent a lot of time talking to in the past. That's Nick up at Campervan Bits, get my words right. Campervan Bits is based up at Bolsover, and Nick makes loads of bits and pieces for the Volkswagen California. So the fact that he is interested in one of these intrigues me.
So this is the first time we've ever seen one of these, and the reason that Nick was suggesting that we have a look at this is because this could become a direct competitor to the new California. So let's have a look and check out exactly what it is. So twin sliding doors, as you can see, kitchen block inside, but that is a traditional Dometic double burner. That's a sink. What have we got in here? I've no idea. Very simple water underneath, so that's your fresh water underneath. Nice and simple. Storage cupboard for your gas bottle there, so that's going to be a 907. Little rail for your table on the side there. Standard cab area. Nice to see you've still got an armrest on the seat, which is good for long distance. Obviously swivel seats. SCA roof. So they're putting a top quality roof in this, which is really good. Obviously haven't made their own. Let's go and have a look inside, shall we? Right, let's hop in and have a look at this then. Oh, so in here, this looks very familiar. Guess what that is? It's a fridge in the Cali location. So obviously that is meant to have a cover on the top of it by the looks of it. I'm sure this is just a show model. So yeah, got a nice deep fridge in there. Pretty decent storage in the back. Obviously your isolator and all your fuses and things there. A few drawers and other bits of storage in the kitchen block as well. And then obviously you've got the bed. So it doesn't feel like there's any storage under there, but that feels like the mattress to me. So they've stored that underneath there to be able to give you some space behind the seat. And this is going to be a normal slide forward. You can see the rails in the floor here. The biggest rails I think I've ever seen fitted on a van.
They are quite sizable. Oh, there's your heater.
Webasto night heater.
Yeah.
And I've just spotted something, you know, because this is based on a car.
Oh.
If you leave one of those seats in that position, you've actually got a little table up. That's actually quite handy. A table that would fit on the other side of the door with your sliding opening door there. Bit of overhead storage at the back as well. Tell you what, it's not bad at all. And I think, I need to double check the price, I'll put it on the screen below. I think these are about 20 grand cheaper than a Cali. So just finishing off then round the back here, no chair storage or anything like that on the back door like the Cali. but a reasonable amount of space back here. So they've decided to have it so that there isn't some kind of back panel or anything like that, just a nice big open amount of space. There is, I actually got it wrong, it was the wastewater underneath the sink, and that's the fresh at the back here.
Makes sense.
But again, if you want to know how much water you've got, how good is it to have a plastic tank where you can see where the level is? Because that's when they make it all fancy and put them underneath or whatever, you've got no idea unless it's got an electric level gauge. And yeah, loads of really decent storage in here. I tell you what, this is good innovation. It's really good to see some competition in the market like this. I do really like it when manufacturers think about things in the real world like this. So this is a rolling homes van, and look at this. So yes, it's a big MAN TGE, but actually the fact that they've made a cubby hole which is just the right size to put two Bromptons in side by side, so you've got an electric Brompton and a standard Brompton in there, that is really, really nifty. I like that. So we couldn't walk past this without having a look. This is an RP 6-metre Mercedes 4-wheel drive, and basically this one at the show is the one that they've decided to chuck everything out. So this has got absolutely everything that RP can possibly put into one of these. It's on a 4.1 ton van, as you would imagine, because it's got so much stuff in. So it's got, I think it's a 5 kVA or 5 kilowatt power generator on here, 400 amp hour of lithium. It's basically been designed to be completely off-grid. It's got 2 water tanks, 3-stage water filtration system, so it's got near on 200 litres, I think it's 180 something litres of fresh water. It's got a smart iPad control system in here, so when you want to turn the lights on and off, if you want to turn the interior sensors on and off, or the heating on, or any of that stuff, you can do all of that in the van by voice control. You can do all of that remotely to the van as well, turning everything on and off. But honestly, when you step in here, the sheer quality of this van and the build of everything in here is absolutely stunning. So you've got this beautiful sink cover here. Again, really, really weighty, doubles up as a drainer straight into the sink. Really good quality sink. You know, you've got taps and fittings that you'd find at home. You know, this is not your flimsy camping stuff. This is absolutely rock solid. Induction hob, obviously twin burner, just everything about it, the quality of all of the cabinetry, all of this nice moulded fittings and everything. Truma heating though, what's that about? When I tell you how much this van is, I think you're going to question whether they could have done something slightly different with the heating, but you know, that's our thing. We like a good heating system, so it really is just absolutely stunning. All of this lovely routed detail out of the doors and cupboards everywhere reminds you what you've bought, but this is designed to go anywhere and to be off-grid. It's a real stunning van.
So in terms of the layout of this van, you can see there you go on the right hand side is the kitchen block where Will was just standing, and you've got this lovely rear lounge layout in a U shape, so that's going to be where it converts into your bed. Looks like you've got the trusty hole with a pole for the table that goes in. Some beautifully huge windows down the sides here with the traditional mosquito blind from the top, and then it'll be your pull-up blind at the bottom. Some really big windows on those back doors as well, so you're certainly not going to have a problem with ventilation in here. And an equally large window down this side too. Got a built-in TV by the looks of it, and another bracket in case, well, maybe if you want another TV, I don't know. Victron energy panel up there for your monitoring, and a good amount of storage that you get over the top here too. And your roof light that's got the built-in fan there. What we should have also said about this van is it does also have proper automotive air conditioning too. So that can also be controlled by that iPad. So you can get it to automatically switch on the aircon if it's getting a bit warm and you've left a pet in the van, or if it's getting too cold and your pet is getting a little bit chilly too. So lots of innovative bits and pieces in here. And a quick look in the little bathroom here. Again, an enormous window. That's huge. But it does have a blind, thankfully. Don't want to be giving everybody a bit of a show, no matter how off-grid you are. Nice little mirror cabinet there, your shower, drop-down sink, and your toilet, and it's got a frosted glass door here that you'd pull across.
So this RP Raid, guess how much? and £85,000. So if you want the best from RP, it's going to cost you, but yes, what a stunning van. Very keen to have a look at this. This is the Knights. I think it's got a Prestige XL. Amazing detailing down the side. So built in an MAN-TGE. Sarah's checking it out. So this is the Prestige XL from Knights. Where are you?
I'm
there
here.
You are.
Yes.
And what have we got with this then?
So this has got a pop top.
Okay.
So you've got a sideways bed at the back.
Transverse.
Transverse. What's happening with my words today? Pop top up there, and they've stored the ladder for the getting into the pop top on the bottom of the transverse bed. So you flip the bed up, get the ladder out, and then you get into there.
Makes good sense.
What I really like about this, though, the beautiful materials. So they've got these bamboo worktops to start with. Obviously got induction hobs, so there's going to be some chunky batteries in here, I'd hope. But I always love this. I really, really love
It's the details,
this that
isn't
they
it?
put on the top here, and this goes through the entire length of the van with some lovely LED lights in it as well.
Coach-style seats as well.
Yeah.
With armrests and things. You've got a beautiful table there, bamboo table.
Yeah, and then that same replication of the wood.
They've reworked the cab seats as well. Look, they're all
Yeah.
nice leather.
They've even covered the old handbrake here, look, with the original MAN TGEs. It's got a nice Alcantara cover on it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful conversion actually. Nice black fittings in the bathroom there as well.
The only thing that concerns me about black fittings, we live in a very hard water area, so when we fill up our van from home before we head out anywhere, we're going to end up with an awful lot of limescale all over a lot of very nice black taps and showers. But
I've just noticed this as well. All of this,
yeah,
even the little hook,
and this
is all
the seatbelt
covered.
slider as well.
Wow. Oh wow! Look at the door card as well.
That's
even this.
stunning.
And all of the surround for the blind. That is an absolute work of art. All stitched in here. That is an absolute work of art. That is beautiful. What an incredible job they've done of that. We might have to go and see
Lovely.
Knights, see whether they can do things like this for our van. Seems like every van we look at the show's got Van der Moon in it somewhere. These are the rear door pockets on this MAN TGE. Very nice indeed. And Sarah also found that this one's got a little freezer drawer at the back. Very, very nice indeed. You've got your electric cupboard on the right-hand side. And Sarah was saying earlier that it really feels with this van as though they've tried to make it so that it is designed to put the bed away, because you've got this nice kind of open worktop here. If you're getting dressed and all that kind of stuff, you've got a nice space. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. So we found Kaktus. This is one of our favourite converters. You probably saw them in the last video that we did. The build quality and the individual details that they put into their vans is absolutely second to none. So you'll have seen this blue one. Now I can't remember exactly what, it's kind of grey blue, and I can't remember what the colour is, but it's basically not flannel grey, which is the same as our van, even though it's about one shade different. But these vans, honestly, they are so special. This one here, so you might have remembered the red one that they did, which had loads of custom stuff. It had the sky pod thing on the top. It was just stunning in terms of the things that they'd done to it. This long wheelbase version that they've done here is a custom design inside, because the family who have ordered this have got a disabled child and they wanted something that feels and looks really super special to be able to go away on family holidays and adventures and everything else. So we're going to have a quick look inside here, see what kind of custom modifications they've done, because this isn't like any other camper you've seen before.
So you can see straight away, the first thing that we have here is a really nice big opening to this door. And that's because they've put a hoist in here. So they've designed this one specially for this customer and for this van.
So in here then, custom hoist, as Sarah said, all completely custom fitted in. It's got just a beautiful integration into the van. You know, when you think about all the control panel up here for it, where the hoist locks away so it doesn't rattle and everything, just stunning design. Really nice soft edging on the edge of all of the panels in here. And this huge space here. So obviously a custom design inside with a single seat, because you need to be able to put a wheelchair in here. And that's exactly what these dots are for. So these dots, if you've never seen a kind of wheelchair mounting system before in a van, that's exactly what those are, industry standard. So you can put the wheelchair here and strap it down so it's nice and safe for travel. They put a custom interior in here, custom curvature, again, to make sure that you've got plenty of space to be able to move around. And then this track in the roof up here, you can probably see, has got a T-track in it, and that is so you can access the bed when you've got somebody who's in a sling. So you can pop it in there, and then much easier access right over the bed at the back so that you're able to lower them onto the bed. And that is really, really special. It's the first time I've ever seen that in a camper van like this. So this is a 6.8 metre MANTGE. So obviously you've got that extra length. It's got a pop top as well. So plan for this would be disabled child down at the bottom, obviously using all the hoist and everything else. Parents up top in the pop top. What an absolutely incredible van. I'll just show you in the bathroom as well. So again, beautiful bathroom in here. Integrated little sink, all completely custom designed.
You get to see me in the mirror. Hello.
And then when you look at the rest of the van over here, as you would imagine with a van of this kind of quality, induction hob. Obviously this one, they've decided to have a microwave in this one. Built-in drainer and sink. Absolutely beautiful. And then obviously you've got a full-size fridge here. And a separate, I'm assuming that's a freezer box at the bottom.
Yeah.
Although it does have one of those here as well. So, yeah, beautiful. Absolutely stunning van.
So we're here on the camper sales stand, and they have brought with them a Hymer Grand Canyon S600. Now, if you've been following our channel recently, we popped into our local centre Loudhams and we took a look at the 700, so the one that you get an extra metre on the back of it. So you still have to do your ninja move to get into the driver's seat, because that is a high van. But luckily here at the show they've put some nice steps in place for you.
And one thing I'm not sure about is how is this van still 135,700, which is what, £2,000 less than the 700.
So you lose a whole metre of van and you save a couple of grand.
So we might as well have a quick look in the back of this one then, seeing as we've only just done the 700. So this is the 600. You can see it's a transverse bed in here, so it's got the kind of flares on the side of the van, so you get that extra width to be able to sleep acrossways of the back of the van. It does have a slightly smaller bathroom in it as well, but everything else really looks very similar, doesn't it? It's exactly the same style of van, all the materials exactly the same, and basically the price almost the same as well.
Well, pretty much, yeah. So just decide whether you want it short or long.
Length.
Yeah. Got an enormous stand here, so they're doing chairs, tables, tents and all sorts, and we've stumbled across this, which we've not seen this kind of thing before, and this is what they're calling a roadie. So this is a drive-away awning, so you can see where it attaches to your van here. It's poly cotton, which is lovely as well, and then you just end up with this big event shelter, so a roadie base. So hopefully, if you've got some nice weather, it just gives you a lovely covered area basically to have a nice sit under, much bigger than any kind of wind out awning you get on your smaller vans as well.
It also looks on this poster like there's loads of options for it. So they do kind of bedroom pods, extensions for it, inner tents, fly screens. You can take the awning thing off altogether and have it just as a event shelter on its own.
Nice idea.
Very, very nice.
Park your car under it if you've taken your car with you and you're just fancying having it undercover.
Yeah, and a great selection of other camping equipment and tents from Empire. Never seen them before. So this is the new Adria Super Twin that's behind me. You can see lots of people wanting to have a quick look at this, but let's go and have a peek inside. already spotted the price on this one, 131. Now, you might be thinking, oh, 131. Remember, that Grand Canyon S600 that we just had a look at, that was four-wheel drive, that was 135 on the Hymer. So for me, this looks pretty reasonable. So let's have a quick look in here. Watch the hump in the floor. So first impressions in here, really nice mix of kind of dark interior, slightly lighter materials and things everywhere. It's got a full Adria LCD control panel, and what you'd expect from Adria in terms of internal build quality. So looks very well made, nothing out of place, all really nicely fitted, everything kind of custom molded to the sides and everything. And I think this has got radiators. So from a heating system point of view, going to check, but that looks like a radiator poking out down there to me. And I can't see any blown air vents anywhere. So I think this has probably got some form of Aldi heating or something like that. So not your normal Truma heating. And certainly for me, that would put this well apart from the Hymers that are in the same kind of price bracket. Right, let's swap places and we'll have a bit of a poke around. Right, so it's a 6-metre van, rear transverse bed, so it is shorter than the 700 Grand Canyon S Hymer that we looked at in our last video. That said though, big fridge in here with a freezer box, just as you would imagine. Obviously fantastic. These are really nice quality handles and things just on here. Non-slip fabric in there. Your usual twin burner and sink drop-in unit, fly screens and everything else. As you would imagine, you've got all of your formed cupboards, push to close, and some beautiful overhead lighting recessed into the top here. These are a nice little feature. So you've got little drop-down hooks, look, which then fold away. Really like those. And this bathroom, they've done some work on this. Because if you remember before, when we looked at the Twin Max, which was on the 6.8 metre crafter, you remember that swinging door thing? So this has still got the swinging door thing, but it's not the whole door. So when you look at what that covers up, it actually gives you much more space in here. So if you remember what it was like when we were looking in the Twin Max, it was quite confined because this was kind of here, whereas now they've made it go back further. Yes, you've still got a little bit of your toilet in there, but actually that's a much improved design, I think, that they've got here. Really chunky mattress on here, as you'd imagine. Folding bed base. I won't do it because obviously it's a show van, but folding bed base which folds out the way. You want to load big items in there. And I have just noticed around the corner there, that is the Aldi heating control panel. So it does have a full wet heating system in this van. This particular one's got a pop top as well. I need to have a look and see whether that's optional or whether it's part of the general spec, but the price on this van here at the show is 131,000, so that will include that pop top. If you could buy this without that pop top for around the 120 mark or so, maybe a bit more, then actually that seems like it could be really competitive in the market. So we just double checked with them, and yes, the pop top on this is optional. So yes, it's included in that price that I mentioned, but the pop top is optional on this. So if you fancied this van as a 2-berth transverse rear bed, no pop top, get the price down a bit, that is possible. Don't know how much the pop top is though, but obviously with it being an option, that's good. It is an SCA roof on this, so again, a really good quality roof. And look, Sarah would be able to get in the driver's seat. Look, it's got a step for the cab.
No ninja move required.
That said though, I can't see one underneath here. Yes, it has got one.
Okay. So we are here on the Motorhome stand, and this is the new Westfalia Kelsey. So it is on the new transit platform. So we're quite excited to see this. Our friends who used to run Campervan carpets, Chris and Ali, they have a Kelsey and they love it. We've spent a little bit of time with them with it, and it's a really good van to have a good look around. Different kind of concept in terms of the smaller van layout and where the kitchen and things are. So let's go. So, I don't know whether you managed to see before we came into this one, the pop top is the other way around, so it pops up from the back. So it gives you a different ability to sort of stand up in different places. Got the kitchen here on the opposite side to where you see most kitchens going on the vans. So there's your sink, nice big tap. And in the Kelsey you do have hot water, it's got a little boiler as well. So at the back here, you've got your gas hob. Nice cast iron hob bits there, so your pans aren't going to slip around, and a lovely little shelf over the top, and a nice kind of worked up area. And I'm just standing here because this can be a problem in some vans as to how high this kitchen block is. It's a little on the lower side, but it's perfectly okay for me to stand at. On the end here, where Will's just opened it, you've got a nice sort of pantry larder thing kind of going on here, so nice easy access to your cans or packets and bits and pieces that you might take away with you. And somebody tells me that this has been converted over to being an electric bed. Okay, so I just pulled these cushions out. They come from this little space here. They've got proper little hidey holes. Open this cupboard and there's a little switch at the top here, and here she goes. And this is looking far, far better than the jigsaw puzzle that we had to put together previously, which really did not look steady to lie on at all. Look at that.
So if you haven't seen the Kelsey before, you'll probably see this is slightly different to a normal campervan layout. So you've got a toilet at the back here, all built in. Then you've got a shower in the floor here, so this is actually a shower tray. I'll just show you that. And then on the other side you've got your fridge, storage, and just at the bottom here that's where your gas bottle goes. And because it's got a shower, as Sarah said, it comes with hot water built in on this. And obviously you've got a wardrobe there and things as well, and you would obviously climb up to the pop top from the back here. This one is built on the new Ford Transit. As you can see, and these retail at £81,000. So if you're thinking about a new California at that kind of money, this is another completely different alternative to have a look at the same time. Right, the new version of ours then. So there is a new special edition of the Sven Hedin which is out, which is based on the new MAN van layout inside, so the digital dash and everything else that I've just shown you in the Hopton at the start of the video, but this has the new Sven interior. So let's just have a quick look in here. So this one, slightly strange, but what they're doing is they're doing different coloured interiors. So I think if you order a Sven as a kind of normal factory, go down the options list kind of Sven, you don't get this wood in here, I don't think. You get the a kind of a very similar sandy colour to these walls here, and a bit of a whiter interior on all the plastics, whereas this special edition is using the coloured plastics from the old Sven, but new coloured doors, new slightly slimmer profile black furniture on the doors. Obviously this one's got black leather and everything, which is very, very nice indeed. I do like that. And then it's got obviously the new style interior, kitchen block, fridge, etc. So you've probably seen on our videos before about the new style Sven, but you've got a drop-in unit here, which is a Dometic unit. So slightly smaller sink than you've had before, but you've obviously got it all in one unit, which some might prefer. You've got a different style fridge on the end here. So you might remember we've got two individual drawers on our fridge, on our Sven. But this one pulls out like this, and then you've got all these different little cubby holes. So you've got a freezer box in this one, which we don't have, and you've got a nice deep bin at the bottom there, ready for all of your tool bottles, wine, milk, all of that kind of thing, and a couple of little drawers and baskets that you can take out if you want to. So just a very different style, and all of that is controlled from this new control panel just here. So this is the Sven Hedin control panel. It's actually a Dometic control panel. You can see here you've got your battery level, fresh water, etc. It tells you your steps out. You can control your heating here. So that's all of your temperatures for your living room, bathroom, hot water, all of that kind of stuff. Basically, it's exactly the same as what you could do on the old style panel, but this is obviously a touch screen, just a bit more modern, gives you your water levels and all that kind of stuff. So just a bit different really. And then at the back here, it's basically exactly the same. So obviously different coloured doors, but actually the bed and everything else back here. So your bed that flips up, all of your storage bits and all of that kind of stuff, all basically exactly the same. That said, that is a new cubby hole. So we don't have that cubby hole on ours. That is a fixed panel. Everything else though, looks as good as it always did. So one of the things about the Westfalia, which I think is quite surprising, is that it hasn't actually gone up in price that much. So when you think about inflation over the years and the fact this is a new model, new interior, it's got the new updated MAN van as well, this baseline price here, this 94,194 price, we paid 91.5 for ours, and it's now 94,194 for basically the same spec of van, so that's a special edition van. Actually, I don't think, when you think about inflation and everything else over the last couple of years, going back to when we first ordered ours, I don't actually think that's too much in terms of an increase, bearing in mind all the new kit which this has got inside, and the fact that it's on the new MAN van as well. Clearly still an awful lot of money. This one with the leather, 97,000.
So welcome to the Out and About Summit. Now, we haven't seen one of these vans before, and the way they do the pricing on these vans is a little bit different. So they tell you what the conversion is going to cost. So a conversion, they're talking about £38,000. If you want a pop top, that's about another 10k on top, something like that. And they've given some examples of different vans that you could either ask them to source, I expect, or give them to actually do the conversion on it. And we've picked this one to have a bit of a look around because it's quite a different layout to what we normally see. So come on in and let's have a look. So here, you can actually see what they've used is a 3-seater rock and roll. So here's your bed at the front of the van. Very different way around of doing things. So you get your normal, what you'd normally see in the back and the boot, where you end up with one of these rock and roll beds in something more like a Volkswagen Transporter. And here we've got the start of your ladder. I haven't figured out where the rest of the ladder is yet, but up into the pop top. But you've also had a lovely sneaky peek there of that beautiful cork ceiling, which is pretty nice. They've gone for a lovely colour combination in here of this tan leather and the turquoise and kind of wood colouring, very similar to the Iriba van that we very much like as well. So as you move through the van here, so you can see you've got a raised floor there where your bed is. You come into this really nice kind of kitchen space here. So on both sides of the van, so on my left here, your right, this is where you've got your sink. So you've got your tap, sink, various cupboards and bits and bobs underneath here. And then over here on my right hand side, lovely big fridge, one of these Vitrifrigos with a nice box there too. And an enormous work surface. This looks to me basically like a standard piece of work surface that you could have in any old house. If you look at what the kind of coffee machine and things is that they've put on here, and a slot-in cooker at the back, and you've got this lovely wide space actually to be moving around in, and some good overhead storage too. And then the thing that's different about this one is the bathroom's actually across the back of the van here. So this panel here pulls out, makes it into that private space. Your toilet's just behind the door there, that's into the shower, and then you've got some more cupboards for storage there. Not quite figured out exactly what you do in the back there in terms of whether there's a shower curtain to stop the back of the van getting wet, but it's most definitely designed for you to have the back doors of the van closed. So just need to figure that one out, and we'll see whether we can get to the bottom of that. So around the back of this van, it's a 6-metre van, and here's the bathroom come shower room come toilet. So this is that panel that you could see that was behind me in the kitchen that you flip over. There it is closed. And ta-da, there you go, there's your shower. Now it looks like to me that suckers on up there. Yep, pretty sure that's how it works. Got a max fan over there, which is a good idea. Dometic toilet, which is just the standard thing. And that is a properly installed shower tray here. So they are most definitely expecting you to shower inside of this van. Now what I'm hoping then is that all of this stuff is waterproof. Doesn't look washroom ready to me, but I may well be wrong. I can't see anywhere though where you would press stud or put a rail in for some kind of a shower curtain, but maybe they're not expecting you to.
Well, there we go then, the end of another very busy day.
Crikey.
I've worn the wrong shoes today. I think I've got blisters.
Oh no!
It does hurt.
You plonker! After we did a show preview where we said, remember to wear your comfy shoes, but we did bring food. So we haven't had to purchase food from the NEC. That was a good decision.
Very important, that. So what do we think then? What's your pick of the show this time?
I do like that Kaktus. That's the one that's specially adapted for that disabled child.
Yep.
That's real innovation and for people to actually use in real life.
Tugs on the heartstrings, actually, that one. And, you know, Kaktus as a company, to take that project on, because that was a genuine whole new project for them.
Yeah.
Based on a concept they've done before, but actually, wow, what a great combination of the need from the family, Kaktus turning it around, an incredible van.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think my pick of the show has got to be that black Adria.
Yeah, you do like that one, don't you?
I'm a real sucker for a metallic black van.
That's why we have a blue van.
I know we could have had black on our van, and we didn't. But I am such a sucker for a decent-looking black van, and that Adria is amazing. I love what they've done with that. They brought it in at a price which is astronomical. However, when you look at the market for that type of van, on that base van, four-wheel drive, all of the other stuff, actually that's really competitive in price in the market. Not going to say it's good value, but it's definitely competitively priced, that van. So if you're looking at things like the Grand Canyon S and those kind of vans that we've shown on the channel before, check out that Adria. You might be surprised just how good that is.
And the bonus of that one is they have actually put the proper heating system in.
And a step for the
proper step to get into the driver's side as well. So you don't have to do a ninja movement between the sliding door step and then into the actual driver's door.
That's right, but you didn't have to see it this time.
You didn't have to witness my ninja step, no.
Right, well, we've met so many of you. If you're watching this and we've met you at the show, it was amazing to meet you. Thank you so much for tapping us on the shoulder and saying hello. We really appreciate that. Thank you everyone else. If you're watching this and just having a bit of a preview of the show and a review of our top picks.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again soon on some more Campervan time.